Welcome to 15-Minute Mom Kitchen. Today I want to teach you a recipe that is my go-to recipe when the kids come home hungry and they really fancy something quick. Another of my popular 15-minute recipes. Basically the trick is in how do you cook couscous? Believe it or not, lots of people don't know how to cook couscous. What is couscous is the first question. So actually it is a pasta. Yep, you're right. It comes from durum wheat semolina. So it actually is really a tiny, tiny, tiny little pasta. Today I'm gonna make a fusion couscous using some okra and some Indian spices. For this recipe, I'm going to use okra, as I mentioned, some cherry tomatoes, lots and lots of coriander, and some colorful peppers. Now you all know and you've seen that I keep my peppers cut in the fridge ready to use, and this is why I can make recipes in 15 minutes. I'm gonna turn up the heat. Heat is on, and I'm gonna use olive oil for this because I think the olive oil really gives it a nice flavor. A bit of a twist with Mediterranean, Indian fusion. It's gonna be fantastic. In went the olive oil, and now I'm going to add some chopped garlic. Just about half a teaspoon of chopped garlic. I always have my garlic ready in the fridge. I chop it on the weekend and use it throughout the week. It's a great time saver. I also keep my onions chopped in the fridge. Again, really saves time, and make sure that it's properly covered because onions can absorb bacteria, so you don't want to keep your onions in the fridge open. In go the onions. And whilst I have that on low heat, cooking in the olive oil and getting translucent, I'm gonna get going with my okra. So the trick with okra is not washing it for too long and making sure that you clean off with a kitchen towel all the excess water as best as you can so that your okra doesn't get sticky. And now with the kitchen roll, I'm gonna remove all the excess water. I'm gonna cut my okra. Best way to cut them is in 3s and 4s so it's quicker, discarding the ends. And you need about a cup of cut okra. My okra is ready to put in. The onions and the garlic have fried nicely. I'm gonna go in with the okra and I'm gonna let it cook a little bit before I add my spices. Whilst I wait, I'm going to cut up the cherry tomatoes. You don't need to cut them too finely, just roughly chopped in 4 is perfect. Once the cherry tomatoes are chopped, they're ready to go in soon, but before that, I'm gonna add my peppers. A little bit of green, yellow or orange, some red. This really gives a beautiful color to your dish. And of course, flavor. I'm gonna add some salt. A little bit of black pepper. Don't want it too spicy because this is for the kids. And I'm gonna add a little bit of water to allow the okra to cook and cover it up. This is where I'm going to chop up my coriander, prepare my herbs, and weigh out my couscous. So I have about 1.5 cups of couscous here, which I'm gonna add to. And this is what I'm going to add right at the end. The lemon also keeps the okra nice and green. The okra takes a few minutes to cook, so do check if it's cooked. It's ready. And now I'm gonna add my spices. I'm gonna add a little bit of turmeric powder. I love turmeric powder in everything, and I think it has so many health benefits that I definitely like to add it to my dishes. I'm going to add a little bit of cumin and coriander powder, roughly half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to add a little bit of garam masala, half a teaspoon as well. My spices are in. I'm gonna mix them in, and I'm ready to add my tomatoes. So I'm gonna let that cook for another further minute, and this is almost ready. By the time I have to add my couscous right towards the end, it takes another minute, and this beautiful, colorful dish is made in 15 minutes. And now I'm going to add my couscous. I turn off the heat, and I'm going to put the couscous straight in, like that. And I'm going to top it up with a little bit of water from the kettle, hot water, just enough to immerse that couscous in water. And you can use the spoon to flatten it down. Heat is off. Cover it with a lid and wait another minute. A minute up, check your couscous, and you can see that it's become nice and fluffy and cooked. Mix everything in nicely. Your okra, your vegetables, your cherry tomatoes. This is filled with goodness. It's vegan and vegetarian as well. This okra couscous is super nice and fluffy. I'm going to garnish it with coriander, and it's ready to serve. How easy was this okra Indian spiced couscous? Made in 15 minutes. If you like this recipe, please make sure you comment, you like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ring the bell for any notifications for recipes made in 15 minutes.